Okay, Cowboys fans, hey, on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday in the district. I'm in the district right now, all right? Capital, that's actually the nation's capital right there. Okay, so I'm on Con Ave. This is actually where I jog at on the normal. And it's a beautiful day in my mind because guess what? The Cowboys are trading for Robert Quinn. Now, quick housekeeping note. Me and Joe Rod actually just hit this on the podcast, all right? Cowboys Huddle. So that's why you guys need to subscribe. You guys have iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever you guys have. You need to subscribe, and you guys need to stay locked in with the work that we're doing on the Huddle. All right, I snuck out of the building for a little bit to talk some boys with you guys. Okay, so we kind of covered this yesterday with the whole DeMarcus Lawrence saga. There's been reports now that DeMarcus Lawrence, the Cowboys have been willing to make him the highest paid defensive end in football, and he doesn't want that. He wants more. Well, guess what, DeMarcus Lawrence? You ain't getting more. You're not Reggie White. You're not, Lawrence Taylor. You're not, I don't even think you're Michael Strahan at his peak. I think that DeMarcus Lawrence is great. I don't think that he's a superstar. And I'll be honest, I'm more of a fan of what he does against the run versus his pass rush moves. Now, I'm never going to tell a player or be mad at a player for trying to get their money. But the team that I root for, the team that I'm a fan of, people can call it crazy, they can call me an idiot, they can call me whatever they want. But the team that I support is doing the right thing and covering their base by doing what? By signing or trading, acquiring a Robert Quinn, okay? What this does now, you now cover your bases. So let's go over who Robert Quinn is, okay? So I'm sure within the next 24 to 48 hours, you're going to start seeing film sessions pop up all over the internet. Cowboys fans are going to be excited. And they have a reason to. This makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys because, number one, Brian Flores, now the head coach, now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, formerly a defensive coordinator, assistant role with the New England Patriots, is switching to a 3-4, okay? In that scheme, you have to be drafted to play that position. It's a very hard transition to make and vice versa. Well, Robert Quinn is a perfect 4-3 defensive end, all right? You could play him at right, you could play him at left. I want to see him at right. But all in all, he is a perfect 4-3 defensive end. It's not a good position fit for him to be playing a 3-4 because the way that he would play it, he doesn't have that coverage ability. He's more of a hand and dirt guy and straight line pass rush moves. You never seen him dropping back in coverage, intercepting the ball. That's not his game. But there is actually film out there of him really giving Tyron Smith the blues. Maybe I'll do some film on that. You got to kind of stay away from these film sessions because what happens is the YouTubers and the YouTube, what does Voch call them, the YouTube Illuminati, they will get you. So you got to be careful of that because just the copyright, it'll get you. But, and I'll let this ambulance pass because this ambulance just doesn't want me to be great right now. This squirrel does, though. Hey, squirrel. Squirrel, I'm sure he thinks I have food. I want you to know, Mr. Squirrel, I have no food for you, okay? Unless you want kale, and they don't. I'm sure that they don't. They want junk, popcorn and salt, peanuts, whatever squirrels eat. But, all right, I'm not dissecting squirrels now. I'm not giving you a breakdown on squirrels. I'm giving you a breakdown on Robert Quinn. So, what can Robert Quinn add to the Dallas Cowboys? Well, he's a 69-sack career guy, okay? So, he's a really good effing football player. Excuse my language. But he's a really good player. I think that he automatically adds depth. You lost David Irving. You're probably not going to have Randy Gregory. And DeMarcus Lawrence is acting like an idiot. So, he's not acting like an idiot. He needs his money. He deserves the money. I met D-Law. I met Tank. He's a good dude. But at the same time, it's like, the Cowboys, and it's also, you're projecting what is D-Law going to give you moving forward. the money that he makes, he needs to get his guarantees because the likelihood of him playing out the rest of his contract that he would get is just not high. So that likelihood isn't high. But now, what this lets you do is say, okay, well, we do have a known, proven guy on the roster. Taco Charlton, while we want to say he could possibly come along, we just don't know. The guy who intrigues me the most at the end position is really Dorrance Armstrong and the leap that he could possibly take within this next year. But with Charlton, you just got to see it more on a consistent basis. You really wished that Randy Gregory didn't have this off-the-field situation, but he does, and now David Irvin has completely quit football. But the big thing that this lets you do is now explore the opportunity of possibly trading DeMarcus Lawrence. Yes, I said it. I don't care if Cowboys fans, feel whatever. You could possibly trade DeMarcus Lawrence come draft time. Let's say you get on the phone and the Colts, prime example. Now, I know he needs the surgery, but doggone it, DeMarcus Lawrence is still in this league a top 5 pass rusher. But for what the Cowboys do, if they want to trade him, get another first and maybe a 2 or a 3, and now you could draft a guy. This D-line class really, let's say you could move to the Colts position, right, and you could draft a Brian Burns, who can give you some production mixed with what Quinn can do, and you now have Brian Burns at a cheaper price than what you were going to pay D-Law, and you could develop him. Let's not act like D-Law's numbers throughout his career are these amazing, amazing sack totals. Let's not be naive, okay, Cowboys fans? He is a very good player. I don't think he's an amazing defensive end. So what it does is, if anything, it just allows you not to be fleeced, okay? And you do the Randall Cobb deal, $5 million. I'm hearing that this is going to be a 1-year deal. So I really like just what this spells for the Cowboys. I do. Now, so with the trade last night on the show, Cowboys Huddle, make sure you guys go get that. Download that on iTunes, SoundCloud, Cowboys Huddle, me and Joe Rod talking sports. Got into some draft names. So before the trade, I thought there was probably, before us trading for Quinn, I thought that there was probably a 30% chance. I'm being honest. Now I think that there's a 50% chance that the Cowboys would trade DeMarcus Lawrence. Just because, again, they're not going to allow themselves to be fleeced, and they're not going to let an AB situation, Le'Veon Bell situation come upon them. And that's a real thing where you now see that teams, and a team like the Colts, it makes a lot of sense because of Matt Eberflus. But you just heard the reports now that teams are worried about players starting to hold out, threaten to retire, threaten to do all these things if they don't get their way. Well, if you have leverage, now you may have to be more aggressive with the leverage that you actually have. So, what does all this mean? Number one, it means that the Cowboys have been very sneaky, shrewd, and smart with their moves in free agency, and I love it. Not overspending for a big name like a Landon Collins, who really, the talent doesn't match the price that you just paid Washington Redskins. But doing things that, if a Randall Cobb doesn't pan out, are you really hurt? If a Robert Quinn doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe a young guy emerges, are you really hurt? No, you're not, because you're not paying that much. He's not killing your cap. All he can do is come in and help, and that's what you want. I think that this is an amazing, amazing pickup on the Cowboys' part. I think that the Cowboys have done their due diligence. Now, let's see how this draft pans out. DeMarcus Lawrence, you want to hold us hostage? Well, guess what? We are now holding you hostage, baby. You better get your butt in the shape. Nah, listen. I felt like I was going on a rant right there. But listen, it allows the Cowboys, I think they now have the upper hand. I was talking to Joe Rod about this earlier. I think they now can do some things. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Chime in. You guys already know I'm in the comment box. If you guys want to hit me up on IG, I'll talk to you there. At Foots the King, it's below. It's in this video. So you guys jump in. Let me know what you guys think. I'm at work right now, so I just spent about 10 minutes talking to you guys. So hopefully I don't get fired. And maybe you guys can donate some money to me if I do. All right, it's your boy Foots the King. You guys have a great Thursday. Remember, be blessed. Chime in. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys want to draft? Let's talk about it. Peace.